Hello, hello, I am Ringru.
And I'm Graham.
We're here today with another 1v1 from the Brain Rot tournament. We're
Mm.
on a bowl of punching. Who's punching it out today, Graham?
So Rangru on the left here, we have moves like Jaki, aka Jaki, playing as Japan Motorized, yeah. And then on the right, we have Krot. He's a regular on the channel here, playing as NORAD Mechanized. I believe I got that
Moto
right.
Mech.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a Moto Mech. I mean, you couldn't tell that the way Jackie's opened up here. It looks like the entire Japanese, helicopter forces in the air right now on their way to Charlie.
Yeah, gonna be getting pretty good foothold. Yeah, honestly, looking at both decks, like Jackie's deck seems pretty normal for this tournament. Like it's not
Actually, it's
that
Nam.
bad.
He's going into Nam.
Yeah, it's true.
All the Hueys. They're everywhere.
If the Japanese just went hot in Nam, they would have run the ball.
That's true. They would have won it for the United States.
Mm-hmm.
It's like We Were Soldiers Japanese edition. Oh, and the CV just getting sniped right there. Yeah, too far ahead now. The ADAT's getting a triple kill. Talk about all the money right there for that one missile. But he did lose his CV, which he was going to get, going for that +2 zone. So that is obviously costly, but he did get the hell. I don't know, probably evens out in terms of points, I think.
Yeah, just loses at +2. It says Bravo has been pretty well secured, and Krot just has the big mech force, all the Canadian IFEs and Leopard C2s making their way down. But
and then
go ahead.
Well, the Mexus is like a heavy tank in this game.
Yeah, it is, especially against the Japanese, and also he has the Chimera as well, so he has some pretty good anti-tank support. But at the same time, Jaki has a whole lot of Cobras with Itos.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely interesting to see for Motorized. This is one of the better maps for it because you can really stretch the field. Speed is a big advantage to you here. So as we see clearly, as we see Japan's, really locking it in here. A lot of different diversity. These Chumats will just smack any of those armored vehicles that come close. And there's actually no mortar whatsoever here. I'm kind of surprised Krot doesn't. Well, does he actually have one? Let me look, because it's the brain rots. No, he doesn't. Never mind.
No, he doesn't. He has a M1.
He's a paladin.
The paladin.
The worst paladin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the basic.
There's actually a really strong force here for Jaki to defend this area because you have Shumats and the Hoodoo Rin, which have the standoff with the 9mm, the M67. So it's actually could be pretty difficult for Krot to take without any external firepower. Oh, we see a Nighthawk. Never mind. Excuse me. He's bringing the king of it coming in right here, trying to drop some paveways on these Japanese.
And
yeah,
the
there he
Japanese
goes.
Don't really have a whole lot of anti-air.
Oh, he's not even expecting it either.
No.
Just annihilation there on those Chumat squads. The Hoodoo Ren get away. F-15J comes in, but it's a little too late. So Krot now going to go and get a little more aggressive here and try and get these Canadian rifles in this town.
Yeah, so that's a pretty good hit. He's going to be able to get some of those Canadian rifles in. It's going to be about whether he can utilize his fire support effectively and just not take too many casualties from all these ATGMs and recoilless rifles.
Yeah, that's the downside there to the Hoodoo Rin. They really don't have a lot of AP on it. It's only 13. So the Mexus at that range, he's only, if he even gets a frontal, I think it's 1 HP for a hit. So really he needs the Chumats to do damage, but they're already dead, so it doesn't matter.
So it's a slow and steady mechanized gang. Gonna pretty easily eat up this little helicopter maneuver. We're seeing the CVB roll to Charlie, but oh, Alpha is under threat here. As Huey's.
It's the Helo Rush.
I know. Fortunately, Krot does have a lot of man pads available to him, enough to army and tie Mujahideen, so he should be pretty good.
Yes, yeah, he definitely has a ton. I would not want to be a Soviet helicopter pilot in this game right now. So Krot, on the other hand, does have some American pilots so they can handle a little bit better. But nice little bit of base defense there. He does have the Stingers, more Hueys coming in. But, I mean, the Canadian autocannon, the IFE right there, just shredding these planes, helicopters, they come in, yeah, plus more Stinger support. So this really isn't going to accomplish that much.
Yeah.
It's annoying.
A bunch more Hueys are actually come around the back here, using up most of their fuel. And they're filled with manpower, so I think he's just trying to set up a little cheesy ambush.
Yeah, he wants to snipe the air spawn as it comes in there. Yeah, it's really interesting. I don't know if it'll work whatsoever, but it's definitely something to keep our eye on. We see the CV go back into Alpha. We have another one coming up to Charlie here. It just, really textbook assault here by Krot using this, these brain rot decks to the very best of his ability here. and just Jaki is gonna have a hard time if he can ever get back into Charlie, just the way his motorized deck is set up.
Yeah, because he keeps, having these helicopter blobs, but, only Hueys with machine guns. You can't really do anything all that much with them. We're seeing time and time again. They just get big blabs. And it does suck for him, because that does increase the cost of his infantry by a decent amount. Not having, sometimes you just need a ground transport to sneak in. You don't want to give your presence to a bloody Huey.
Yeah, absolutely, Reagan. One thing I'll say about Jaki is he does obviously control most of the map. So while Charlie is now under Krot's control, Bravo's pretty locked down for right now. He's pushed up pretty well into Echo and could move a little further if he wants to. Yeah, we see some recon infantry getting called out there and a Huey as well. So Jaki definitely is still in this game. It's just that push right there by Krot was just pretty much textbook, as I said earlier, annihilating all that Japanese infantry right there. The Hilo play into Alpha for like a little cheeky TV maybe spot. I don't think he's really going to kill it. That didn't work out. So now he's going to be kind of on the back foot. And that's where I really, Motorized kind of suffers when they lose that initiative.
Yeah, I think the real question now here for Jaki is, does he just try to play the CV game and spend heavily investing in points he's already captured? Or does he start investing more on frontline troops? Because yeah, it's going to capture Delta, which would be a nice little plus too. I believe there's a CV. A CV is in Charlie, but he just hasn't stopped moving it yet. Because with Krot's forces here, if he just pushes into Delta, he's a little bit spread out right now. With all his rifles playing a bit more defensively, he has a good opportunity for God Vision to make this Delta push happen.
Yeah. When you take our God Vision into account here, it definitely looks like Krot can make something happen in Delta. He just has such a massive firepower advantage here, and that's not changing anytime soon. One Shiki G isn't really gonna in a Chumat squad or a Hoodoo Rin, that's not really gonna stop this mechanized force here. But Krot's kind of like broken the force apart a little bit, Rang. So it's kind of like you said, it's a little disorganized, a little disheveled. Well, Nighthawk coming in, we'll see where that's gonna try and drop its paveways. Jaki has some tools to stop, Krot, but I'm not sure how effective. Oh, just another Chumat squad annihilated.
God.
That's the fourth one dead, I think.
Mm-hmm. Which may seem a little bit overkill, but those Chumats are the main threat against his tanks apparently, so it's working quite right. And he's got the Deagle coming in hot.
Yeah, America is just really making its presence felt here right now. It's kind of like a flashback to 1945. Please avert your eyes if you're Japanese. We're gonna need a trigger warning on this game, Ranger, because America's just bringing the heat.
Yeah.
More Hueys coming up, some more infantry here for Jaki, but he's gonna need something to shut down that airplay. We do know he has an F-15J. Obviously, Krot has ADATSs. He found that out the hard way. But he's got to do something, because if you allow the American air power to just continuously pound you throughout the game, you're going to lose. Like, it's just, they get too much value the longer the game goes on. And he's had, the F-117 since the first 4 minutes of the game.
Yeah, like 2 F-15s given air patrol. I mean, he only has to kill 3 aircraft. There's like 3 good CAS aircraft here from Krot's side.
Right.
That he can, start resting easy and not have to worry about it.
And a big thing with Krot taking out the Chumats is he doesn't have to worry. Like, the smoke situation no longer becomes a big deal for him, because the Chumat is, besides helicopters, the best way for him to deal with any armor or heavy IFE play. Yeah, we see the one trying to get a snipe there, but it misses. Because his tanks just really won't do the job against the Mexes in a straight-on fight. If there's no Chumats here, there's really going to be nothing to stop Krot from just taking his mechanized force and shoving it down Delta. Like, there's, so it's really nice trades there by Krot early on to eliminate his primary threat for his mechanized force.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you can just keep those tanks alive, you're doing Gucci. And just having the ADATs is very nice for his deck, just due to the dual purpose of it, of knocking out those helicopters, aircraft, and just any more Nanoshikis, which try to get a little bit cheeky.
Yeah, I don't want to pronounce the whole Japanese tank name because I'm probably going to butcher it too many times. But the 60-pointer is nice. It does have 17 AP, decent accuracy, full range. The Mark 19 on it's pretty cool when it engages infantry, but it's not as good as a Mexis. And so you're really not going to want it to go and stand, in head-on tank fights like that. That's also just not how Motorized wins the game. But we saw the F-15J is back up here for Jaki, and I think he's going to need 2 of them just on rotation ring. Like, they're going to constantly need to be up here and force Krot into buying, like, a fighter or deploying more AA or something, right, if he wants to try and send those planes out.
Yeah, because he has no other real proper air defense apart from the man patch and the closed arrow, which aren't exactly great for knocking out aircraft. You need those F-15s to start, blapping those buggers.
Well, at the same time... Anglo words. Well, at the same time, though, Rang, Jaki is capping up, so he's kind of gone the direction you hypothesized. He's going to go ahead and, he's got most of the field, so let me get CVs everywhere, and then force Krot into frontally attacking somewhere, or overextending maybe, then he can punish it. So we see Foxtrot's getting capped, Echo's going to get capped here soon, and then obviously at any point he could grab Bravo. Now, I will say this probably means Krot has an opportunity here, because there's hundreds of points in command vehicles obviously have no utility whatsoever in combat, but he's going to have to, I think maybe pick the pace up a little bit.
Yeah, he seems a bit slow. Like, he has a lot of stuff in Charlie here. Once again, it just comes down to that feeling of momentum. He does have that big Canadian rifle platoon hooking its way down south, so he's just taking his time here. Hopefully it pays off for him, because if he can at least neutralize Delta, that will put him into a decent position. But
all right, so this could be big, Rang. The F-15D and the Nighthawk are both out. Okay, so the Nighthawk is actually EFAC'd out. F-15D just up here. The J is up, but it is low on fuel. Now, it has enough, I think, if it could get an engagement. We'll see. Krot's trying to bait him maybe towards his AA, but the ADATS isn't going to be in a position. Yeah, it won't matter, I don't think.
Oh. F-15's trying to do his darndest here.
Yeah, I think he's trying to bait him. I mean, that's what it looks like to me. But yeah, evac ordered here by F-15J. So now the Deagle's probably going to go in here and try and get some value. I was going to fly right past the...
Oh, the P-Sounds aren't in range.
They will be, though. That's going to be a nasty surprise if it works. He's going to have one opportunity, I think, for it to really hit. And he's going to need it to get a big kill. Yeah, there they go. The F-15D now, plus the Nighthawk. There's no other J up here. I really think he probably should have bought another ASF and just kept a constant, cap up here. And we see the Deagle coming in here, probably going for the... Okay, it's actually going to miss, it looks like, which is a nice, one of the first mistakes here by Krot. But the Nighthawk will not miss.
No.
Oh, yeah.
And then we got the Canadian rifles going up and over. You can hear the whistles being blown as they jump out of the forest. And this also just, it's textbook play. You spread out with your mechanized infantry, you have the IFEs backing up behind you. Yeah. But unless he can, well, okay, he's dealing with an anti-sticky for Leopard C2, you should be able to get into the town.
Yeah, this is 100% textbook by Krot. The only thing I guess you would say wrong is there's no mortar for some smoke play. But that's literally because it's not in the deck because it's the brain rot tournament and we all want to lose our brain cells here. But, we're kind of gaining some back, if that's even medically possible, just watching as Krot, launches this mechanized assault into this town here. Now, he does lose one Mexus right up there. It looks like the Nano, G gets the kill. Yeah, Nice will pick off for it here. He might want to get his other armored vehicles into the fight here, but he's going to lock down this portion of the town, and actually, Ring, that's all he needs. Yeah, you see instant CV call out.
Yep, he just needs to get, neutralization to stop Jaki's +2 here. It was a pretty costly push. Fortunately, he does have those other two C2 Maxuses bringing in the fire support, but he got the territory, so it was definitely a worthwhile trade for him.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna lose units in any type of assault like that. Like, men are going to die, right? But he has still the majority of his force intact, which is really what you're looking at. Like, is the force actually capable of withstanding maybe an immediate counterattack? And it is. And then on the flip side, there is no counterattack coming from Jaki anytime soon. He does have some Kute. I don't know how you pronounce the Japanese ones. I'm sorry. For ancient
blokes.
Yes, the special forces blokes. They're in the back line there, so we're gonna see they might get some chic, little cheeky shenanigans. But for right now, they have a double F-15Js are actually out. The Deagle coming out here, and it most likely will go down here. Yeah, getting annihilated as it does get its bomb load off, but it's going to just get another Chumat squad. Oh, but one F-15J goes down to the ADATs of the Hawk.
Yeah. Honestly, Rothro trade the D for the J. There's only now like 2 close air support planes. One of them is an F-18 Hornet,
Yeah.
which is a little bit. Yeah, but we're probably not going to see it as such way too overkill to deal with a bloody Nanashiki. There's just
Yeah,
a
we won't.
Nighthawk he just has to worry about.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree with you. Trading the J out right there, sure does it kind of suck to lose your ASF, but you have another one, and you took out a huge chunk of Krot's firepower that he's really been using them to kind of gain these positions moving forward. And we see a lot of Japanese infantry being unloaded in the back here of Delta because, Jaki recognizes the same thing we do, Rang, is that if he allows Krot to stay there in the northern portion of Delta, this position will get decapped, and just long term, it's not valuable for him to allow it to stay that way.
Yeah, he just needs to keep out pressure and try to nip this in the bud, so to speak. But it's going to be tough, I think. It's still a pretty decent force. There's Mexus is, the anti-aircraft net. He doesn't really have the artillery. He has a decent amount of infantry, but it doesn't really matter as the Canadian rifles are positioned in an array where it's just more about open field engagements rather than dudes with machine guns.
He does have a good lead, though, Ray. It's one thing we really haven't talked about, in a while. Jackie's up 177. That +2 is going to continue here for a few more minutes as we see the CV now coming towards the zone. But a big thing is Jackie's placement of his special forces in Delta. That's a very common spot to put your CV from Krot's position, and they're just waiting for something to roll up right there in that little corner of the forest.
Yeah, and it is just a cheap CV, so there's even a possibility of just blap it with a machine gun. And
yeah,
just
absolutely.
Killing it right now I'd at least give him another 50 points or so of just not having to
minimum
worry about.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like the way Krot's call out these CVs, he's playing it pretty close to the chest here, or maybe not close to just the right word, but he's kind of playing with fire because even though he is has traded more efficiently than Jaki this whole game, a 200-point hole, that's pretty hard to come back from in Punch Bowl because at a minimum, if he decaps Delta, he's just not gaining, right? And he's still going to have to get aggressive and most likely white Delta or counterattack up in the north and get back Foxtrot Echo. So Jackie's actually in a pretty good position right now.
Yeah, he can pretty much just trade a lot of space for time.
Yep. Benefit of Moto.
Moto gang represent. Japanese Moto too.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen Japanese Moto in a game before. I mean, that's how you know we're in the Brain Rot tournament here. And honestly, it's been while he has, kind of been pounded a little bit by that American air power, he's doing okay in terms of his territory taken. And then we see right there, the Krut opening up, the CV going right, Jaki just, great anticipation right there by him. Yeah, and an immediate call out there by Krot, but that's just, 4 more minutes of double tick here, guaranteed for Jaki. It's just massive.
Yeah, he's going to get pretty close to 300 points, which is going to be extremely good for him. And Krot is building up another scary force. He has a platoon of Bradleys or infantry inside him, I believe it's riflemen. But he needs to start pushing up. At this point, he needs to just clear out Delta. He needs to completely win that fight and
I think he might be on Bravo.
Oh,
I mean, there's the Centurion spam. I saw those called out, and they were originally for Charlie, but that Centurion with the S11 spam, while that is cool, my gut, it looks like Bravo. Maybe is it a Thunder Run? I don't know.
Maybe. We've seen the helicopters coming in. They're really just to try to raise ammo for the ADAT. Some enemy at the gate stuff.
Well, the ADATs are opening up right there. You see him making multiple connections. Those Hueys just getting blapped right out of the sky here. Chumat's now also trying to engage the IFVs and Centurions on the road here. A little bit of infantry's dropped out as well. I mean, honestly, trading the Huey for ADAS missiles isn't a bad trade.
No, there's nothing else they can really do.
No. Chumat's getting some of the Bradleys as they go out in the open here. Heavy losses there for Krot. All of his infantry being forced to dismount. They might get another one. No, okay, so they're just going to go ahead and get behind the ridge line right there. Oh, an F1 called out here by Jaki. He's going deep. I'm not sure what. Snipe? No, he's over. I think he messed up.
Yeah.
I think it was a misclick. Or he had a target, he had a targeted unit and lost sight of it.
Is he going for, he's going for the CV.
Oh, he's
the
going
other
for
one. What?
A little short. Crazy move, though.
He's using the bloody Huey to spot it. That is...
Yeah, that was insane.
That's an assassination move, right? Yeah, but... I mean, he doesn't get the kill, but at least he slows it down for a second or two, which... Still kind of rough.
Yeah, though in response, Krot's kind of decided I'm done playing games, and he has launched his mechanized force here forward here in Delta, and they're kind of just cleaning up right now. There's not a lot of resistance left in front here. Riflemen trying to get close to the oh, those are the Shiki A's, yeah. Even the law. Oh, those, yeah, because those were Riflemen 90. I thought they were base. Excuse me. Yeah, they got the AT4. They will slap those Japanese things. The Paladin getting some shots in here as well. I mean, kind of, broken arrow right there, dropping it on top of his own rifleman, too close. But, yeah, Krot is moving forward here, and he might get the CV. It's going to be up to this Cobra to stop this push.
Yeah, fortunately, Jaki does have a lot of those Cobras available, and the anti-air is not our previous push, so that should be enough to punish this overextension.
I think so, too. I mean, he's still got 4 Itos left on. He's got back up. The Chumat's engaging, but he is in Bravo. But I'm just kind of wondering, what's the long-term play here from Bravo? I think the Centurions have to cut off the reinforcement road.
Yeah, he needs to go all in, and we're seeing
another
F-Ron and F-15's coming in, and the Delta push is just done, especially once F-Ron is done with these Leopard C2s.
Yeah, I mean, the ADATs are in position, though. We see that F-15J taking a shot, F-1 trying to come in and get sniped. It gets the ammo, the resupply trucks, but it's... Ooh, and it's going to evade, actually. I mean, the push is still going.
He's just trying to starve out the ADATs and...
Yeah.
And it's kind of working. It's actually working. Like, it's still low on ammo. There's been so many helicopters for him to kill.
Yeah, and there's a very aggressive CV placement by him because he knows the backlines, compromise. He's going to bring up 6 Bradleys. Wow, that's a lot that he saved up right there to try and get them in there. Oh, and there you go. The Centurions are in the back line here now. They're soaking up hits here from the Cobras as they go in. That's super annoying. The Mechs just needs to drive straight, Rang. It just needs to go straight in the forest, and it'll run right into the CV here. And that could get the +2 for Krot, just defying all expectations, sacrificing every man in Canada's population to make it happen.
Yeah, it's... And we still have dudes in Delta from Jaki holding the town position. They are in a good position. You see that the Hudo Ren going in full flank, and they could actually knock out, once again, Krot CV, which is going to capture the point here. So, once again, Jaki just playing the points game, and it's working pretty damn well for him. I mean, he is losing by a +2 now, with 337 point advantage. Not bad.
He is a huge lead. I mean, there's 17 minutes left in the game. Obviously, anything can still happen here. But for me, it feels like the force that Krot has is kind of paper thin. Now, the question is, what does Jaki have left in reserve that he can bring up here and kind of counterattack? I think Jaki's best bet is getting that CV snipe. If he snipes that CV, stops the +2 for what's probably, going to be more than 2 or 3 minutes. You're talking probably a 5-minute plus before another CV even can get over there. That might be a game-sealing move.
Yeah, because he can neutralize Bravo at least, and just stop that from being a point strain. And a +2, yeah, like you said, just a CV snipe for a minute or 2 will buy him enough time to keep at 300 or odd points lead here.
The Stingers in the back line, they did shoot at something. They fired 2 missiles. So I don't know what they shot at, if they killed anything. It looks like there's a truck destroyed on the road there.
Yeah.
We're on fire. Something happened back there and we missed it. I don't know what. Obviously the comments, section will probably let us know. But yeah, so Jaki getting up a tank force here, some more recon infantry. It looks like he's going to have to maybe try and go for a counterattack. Yeah, because now look, there's infantry and IFE surrounding the CV, so it's kind of in, on lockdown.
Yeah, and seeing some of the Kutes trying to go in for the flank, but running into that C2. And they only have the base floors, so they only have not a great chance of dealing with that. No, you're probably right. Just a counterattack into Delta. I mean, it's a pretty lumped up force, but he doesn't have anything to really punish blobs. He has like a couple of fronts, I guess, but that's just a lot of dudes and a lot of IFEs he has to deal with. Yeah,
that's the big problem. The IFEs and it's Bradley's coming up now too. The Mexes are really low on HP, but he's got to get that far, right? I don't know. The more I look at it here, I thought Jaki had a good chance maybe to snipe that CV, but now the Hoodoo Ren are going off into the forest. And Krot kind of has set up a position here. Plus, the Bradleys are coming in now. So that's 6 more squads of infantry going to go ahead and set up here in Delta. And Motorized just doesn't do well in this kind of situation where it's like a head-on frontal assault.
Yeah, and Krot's just been pushing like a slow but steady armored fist just into the side of Jaki here. And especially now, just how the geographical positioning is, the only way to deal with Krot is through frontal assaults. There's no flanking here. You just have to go straight into Delta and hope for the best, and the best is not going to happen.
Yeah, his flank assault is this one Shiki G and the JSDF Rangers trying to get into Alpha here. I mean, his Slinger infantry killing the Rifleman 90, that's super funny in the back line. I mean, maybe this tank makes some magic happen. I highly, highly doubt it. But that's really the only thing I can see here. You know, Jackie's going to have to come up with a real strong, like, frontal push here, and I'm not sure if even 6 tanks is going to be enough.
Yeah.
Well, F1 diving in, trying to get bombs off here, but it's going to go down. Where are the bombs going? Going against that infantry stack there. Really nice hit, but the Canadian Rifles will still stay on top of the Hoodoo Rin, and that'll probably trade out here. And then now we have more Bradley's going to come set the position here. He's getting a great smoke here by Jaki. Yeah, there's a one shot left here, I think, for him.
Honestly, probably for Jaki, just trying to get the CV sniping Alpha and doing a rush up here will be his best bet. It's just, there's so much forces down in Delta, it's impossible. It's Fort Knox at this point. He just needs to try to get some sort of snipe, and even though
He's
Alpha
a Tarantino.
he does. And a hope and a dream.
Yeah, he's bringing up more armor here, but he doesn't. Yeah, I agree with you, Ring. I thought maybe a couple minutes ago there was an opportunity, but there was just no resources. You know, he may have, like, obviously in a perfect world for him, he has resources available to immediately counterattack that kind of like disorganized mess that Krot had after that attack succeeded. But now there's just way too much. I mean, we have Centurions, we have the THs, a ton of Bradleys backed up with infantry, AA. I mean, yeah, this is. He would need a ton of firepower to break through this.
Yeah, honestly, like, just get the CV sniping Alpha, try to, you know, maybe do a little tactical outplay to spot it, right? It's not just so much knocking out the reinforcement line, but it forces a Charlie CV to come off, which gives Jaki quite a bit of breathing room in regards to point chain. He really needs that breathing room, because Krot is catching up quite quickly, because +2 is quite fast.
Yeah, losing Bravo also really hurt him there. Like, he had a nice force there for screening, but, you know, Krot basically said, hey, I can get 10 of these 20-point vehicles, and I'm just going to send them forward, and you don't have enough Chumats to stop me. And that's literally what happened. So, breaking the Bravo line allows a full connection, easy access, reinforcement-wise now, into the upper portion of Delta, or, you know, back portion, whatever way you want to look at it there. And yeah, these tanks are just getting, oh, that infantry just got annihilated.
God, yeah, the Nanas are good. So many ATGMs. This is total missiles, but damn.
Jaki could have the best tank smoke micro in the entire game, and it wouldn't matter.
No, way too many missiles.
Oh, and F4 diving in here. Oh, going for the CV snipe, but I think. Will he get it? It's gonna be close here. He might have just missed it. Yeah, a little too far forward there. And he lost the plane too, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Another helo goes down. No, not ideal whatsoever, Rangaroo. And I think with that, that's probably Jackie's chances of winning this game. Krot has a stranglehold now in Delta. He's kind of cleaning up the last portion here of Bravo, and he's stopped the shenanigans in Alpha for the most part.
Yeah, and he's actually doing a little bit of the counterattack out of Alpha, securing that forest, and yeah, it's pretty easy just looking at the map. It's just a huge amount of red, and it's looking pretty blue here for Jackie's side.
Yes, it's very blue right now for Jaki. And I will say at one point, it was the complete opposite, Ring. You know, there was a lot of, you know, of units on the field for Jaki. He looked like he was in a really good position. He got exactly where he wanted to in Charlie off the get-go for minimum losses. He got the CV snipe with his Cobra. But really, I mean, I give it the credit to America. The air power just came in super clutch for Krot. And then his timings were just perfect across the board with his attacks.
Yeah, it's also just, you know, classic mechanized. It's slow, it's steady, and it just kind of catches up and slaps you in the back of the head. You're just, hey, I have, you know, a battalion's worth of infantry on the field now, with IFE support, and you have a bunch of Japanese dudes and Hueys. Your Hueys will only get you so far, and usually only in the early game.
Damn. Rip the Huey.
Hmm.
Actually, a lot of Hueys died. We should have got a counter.
Yeah. Too bad we don't bloody see a proper KD list in Wargame.
Instead of Blackhawk down, it was Huey down. Yeah, now you just see, I mean, like, he's calling out more units here, but I think he's kind of making the same conclusion that we are. Like, hey, I don't... this probably ain't happening.
Oh.
There's that one ninja in the back just chilling. I didn't even notice that. You see, yes... And kind of looking around the map, see if there's anything really that Jaki can do here, Rang, and it just doesn't, like... It looks like this is pretty much the... I mean, Krot could just go forward, I think, if he wanted to.
Yeah, just select everything an attack move. He could pretty easily win.
Q move?
Yeah, that's the Q move win, but he won't need to do that, because there we go. And a pretty standard, like, 900-ish KD for that type of match.
Yeah, and you can tell that Krot was steadily trading a little bit better the whole game. I don't know there was a bunch of exchanges where you would say it was massive, right? But he just was getting better trades consistently throughout the match and killing the more important units.
Just once again, Mecha Gang comes supreme.
Listen, I'm just gonna say it. I know the people are thinking it. America's thinking it. The world's thinking it. Mechanize is OP.
No way. Really?
It's OP.
Wow. I thought it was Marine decks, but I think
Motorized needs a buff. Every Moto deck needs the Roy Cat.
Yeah, every single run. It's just even the Soviet runs, because
Even the Soviet one. Why not?
everyone gets a Roy Cat and then the Recon AMA.
You get a Roy Cat, you get a Roy Cat, and you get an AMX-10 RC. I'm about it. I'm starting that petition right now.
We'll make it work.
I believe in us, Ranger. I truly believe in the power of your YouTube channel to teach Eugen the proper way to balance these games. I mean, now we just need to get started on Warno.
Yeah, that's like an uphill battle.
Yeah, whatever. We quit in that fight before it even starts. We run it.
That's gonna take a lot of work.
Abandon ship.
Abandon ship indeed. But anything else, Mr. Graham?
No, I'm all good.
Alright, well, let's get these petitions signed. Well, thank you very much for watching, guys. And as usual, please just take it easy.